I know you've heard all over the internet when you're just starting out to create video content, you should be using your phone. And I am a big believer in that. You know, phones, they have really great quality nowadays, and they can sometimes create videos just as good as cameras, especially if you don't know how to use a camera. But what are the pros and the cons of using your phone versus a camera, and when should you switch over? We're going to talk about that today. Now, we all have phones, and we all know the capabilities of them. So before I talk about the pros, I actually want to talk about some of the cons that people don't think about when, they're using their phones. So the first thing is phones run out of storage super fast, especially if you're like recording in 4K or you're recording in like a super high quality. Your storage will go super fast and you will have no room for anything else. Another thing is the lack of creative control within the original settings. So you can change the brightness, and you can even go in and maybe change the tint of the video, or maybe even the frame rate. That's about the only thing that you can change without downloading like additional apps to, help you change some other things like the focus and stuff like that. Third thing is the battery life. When you're recording content, having a content day, or maybe even live streaming, creating all of this content does soak up your battery super fast, and sometimes it even makes the phone super hot. And it's not like you can just pop another battery back in if the phone dies. You actually have to, either charge it while you're recording the content, which can make it even hotter, or you'll have to, wait for it to charge again. The last thing I'm going to go over is transferring footage from your phone to your laptop. If you've ever tried to transfer iPhone 4K footage to certain laptops, it either takes forever or, it's sometimes very complicated. And then with that, also editing. If you've ever tried to edit iPhone videos on certain video editors like Premiere Pro, it'll actually completely go blank because the video editor doesn't want to recognize it, and you'll have to choose some different type editor, or your computer won't even open the files depending on what type of computer you have. So that's the drawbacks of using your phone for content versus a camera. Are you thinking about switching from a phone to a camera, or from a camera to a phone, and why? Let me know in the comments. As far as the good reasons for using an iPhone, the pros, there is tons of them. So first thing, very easy to use. Everyone knows how to use their phone. You just take it out your pocket, swipe left or right, and then the camera is right there. Very easy learning curve. And then also, most of the times, the settings are already there and ready to go. You don't have to really fix the brightness. You don't really have to, figure out the aperture or anything. I mean, there are apps that you can use to get creative with that stuff, but most of the time, it's right there and easy to use. And also, everything else you need is on there too. So like editing, all the apps that you're going to be uploading the content to, they're all most likely on the phone right there ready for you. You don't have to use any other devices. And then the last thing, phones are super easy to carry. You take them everywhere. And even if you didn't want to go handheld with your phone, they have other things like gimbals and also tripods that you can use to hold your phone up. So moving over to cameras. So just like the phones, we're going to go over to the cameras and talk about the cons first. So if you've never used a camera before, then very steep learning curve. Sometimes when you turn your camera on, the settings aren't where you need them to be. Like, you're going to have to fix that. I will say once you learn how to, use your camera, the more you use it, the better you get. But when you first get it, it's definitely a learning curve that you're going to have to figure out. Also, depending on what type of content you make and whether you're going to be holding your camera or not, it is slightly heavier or a lot heavier depending on what camera you get than your phone. Another thing is editing. Now, unlike your iPhone, your camera does not come with apps on it that you'll be able to edit. If they do have any, please let me know, because that sounds like a great idea. You're gonna need some type of device to edit these videos on. So whether that be your iPad or your laptop, you're gonna need something to be able to handle all these files. Now let's talk about the pros. The number one reason why people usually switch from phones to cameras is the quality. They want to up their content game. They want to look more professional. They want a certain type of look. So cameras have so many different lenses that you can choose from that gives you different looks. Or maybe your phone camera doesn't do well in low lighting, and you need, some people usually get cameras. Another thing is battery life. You know, cameras are made to create content. So it's like, I know my camera, it can last a whole 8 hours. And even if it does die, you're able to just, you know, put another battery in and continue what you were doing. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know, this might just be me, but one of the reasons why I use cameras is because it's less of a distraction than my phone. So, you know, if you're recording videos and stuff on your phone, notifications can come down, somebody can call you, and then you're just like completely taken out of what you were doing. But, you know, when I'm recording content, I can put my phone on the other side of the room and I can, you know, record content from my camera and knock all of those out and then, you know, go back to my phone later. But I like being able to separate the two devices for what they are. So as you can see, phones and cameras, they have a lot of the same similarities. So when is a good time for you to actually make the switch from a phone to a camera? So the number one reason is, you know, you're ready to upgrade your quality. Maybe you want your videos to look more professional, or you want a certain look. Maybe your phone doesn't do well in low lighting situations and you need something, you know, that's going to make your videos a little brighter. Number two, you need more storage. You know, you're creating content daily, or you're creating content, you know, multiple times a week or multiple times a month, and your phone's just not able to hold it all anymore. You want something else or something different that holds all your content. And the last reason is, you know, technical knowledge. You just want to learn more about the art of photography or videography, and you figured all there is to know about iPhone photography and videography, and you want to take it up to the next level and get an actual camera to see how you would do with that. So I hope at this point in the video you have a very strong idea on if you're still going to use your phone, or maybe if you're going to start using a camera. If you're looking to up your video content, then I have a free guide on how to create video content from start to finish, and you can find that in the link in the description box. So thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next week.